Stu here. We're going to be going over masteries and raid Shadow Legends. Pretty basic picks for 90% of the champions. I split mine into two different categories pretty much. Champions that do raid and PvE, and champions that I use for farming and PvP. So we'll jump right into Bad L here. See his masteries. I'm not going to read over every single mastery. If you've looked over it yourself, you know that crit damage, these apply additional damage to higher HP enemies, things of that nature, and you know about War Master and Giant Slayer. And if you have 2 attacks, 3 attacks, what to use War Master versus Giant Slayer. So basically that's what I do. Each of my champions, whether I use it for PvE or PvP, I come down here, I get War Master, I'll get Giant Slayer, and then on the support side, you'll go through, and the biggest things for support is whether your champion does a buff or a debuff, or does buffs and debuffs both. As Bad L does poison to the enemies and heal over times, regen to all your allies. So for that, I have a 30% to extend the duration of any buff cast by this champion, and a 30% chance to extend any debuff cast by this champion. Now the rest of these, you always come down here for the increased set bonus of basic artifact sets. And then you can get 5% chance to decrease skill cooldown. And the rest of this is kind of just, you know, if you want to get in there to get additional turn meter on your way there. So let's go over to another champion. Let's see, we have another champion I use for clan boss, or at least used to use for clan boss a lot. So same thing, you just go all the way down. He doesn't have multi-hits, and then he doesn't have any buffs, so we're not going for the extended duration of buffs. We're going for the debuffs. His debuff chance on a skill 3 is at 100%, so we get a chance to place a debuff by the skills and artifacts by additional 5%. And then we'll go over to someone like, let's go over to Apothecary, who has a 3-hit attack on his skill 1. So for this one, I just went down. You can choose whatever you like. I really don't think Life Drinker does that much. And choose what you need to choose to get to Giant Slayer. That's the main thing. The rest of it's kind of just little things. It's not really going to affect it that much. So just pick what you like and go down there. And now he also casts buffs, but he does not cast any debuffs. So on this one, you just take a route down to get the 5% chance to decrease the skill cooldown. Get the increased set bonus. This is very important. And then you get the 30% chance to extend the duration of his speed buff. So there you go. If you see, you're kind of getting the general idea of what you need for people who do PvE and raids. Those are what you shoot for. Now, if you're gonna do, if your champion is just for PvP or for farming, this is kind of what I would do. Is go in here and I grab this, places a buff whenever you kill an enemy. This 15% of your max HP, which is pretty nice for when you're farming if you need it. And then I went, of course, to get the increased set bonus for basic artifact sets by 15%, and the rest of it's just kind of there. This is for PvP, the 8% on the first attack, and I believe this increases your arena damage as well. All right, let's go over to one more that I use in arena, and the same kind of setup. The 8% additional on the first attack. You've got the shields. If I used to farm with her, increase this. She doesn't have multi-hits except for on her last skill. So her skill 1 and 2 are 1 hit, so go with War Master. And that's pretty much it. I can't think of a different situation where at this time you would go defense, because defense just isn't a strong mastery tree to go into at all. So just keep it simple. Go in here. I don't even worry about doing the critical damage for my PvP people. I just go ahead and get War Master, because I do use them in runs and dragons and to farm Minotaur and things of that nature. So I prefer to have the War Master or Giant Slayer. It does a ton of damage. All right, that's it for masteries. If you have any questions, please post it down below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you on the next one.